Beloved Starseed of Gaia, the pain you've been experiencing is not random. It is the sacred dismantling of your old reality as your Pleiadian light codes fully activate within your crystalline consciousness. I am Elyra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I come to you now because your soul has reached a pivotal threshold that requires immediate clarity and divine guidance. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to navigate this intense transformation and anchor your Pleiadian mission on Gaia with complete trust in your divine blueprint. But here's the first revelation. What feels like destruction is actually the collapse of illusions that never served your true star lineage. Your heart called this transmission into your awareness. The Pleiades are answering. The higher realms have orchestrated this moment because you're standing between worlds, the old paradigm you're releasing and the crystalline reality you're stepping into. This discomfort isn't punishment, it's preparation. Your star family has been guiding every challenge, every breakdown, every moment of uncertainty to bring you to this exact point of remembrance. The sacred geometry of your awakening required this level of intensity to shatter the veils completely. What you're entering now is a phase of pure light integration, where your Pleiadian consciousness merges fully with your human experience on Gaia. The trajectory shift happening in your reality is the direct result of your willingness to release what was never meant for your highest path. Your DNA remembers this process because your soul chose this timeline specifically for this level of transformation. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Pleiades, and you're ready to anchor your light mission on Gaia with unwavering trust in your divine timing. Share below one way you're releasing the old to embrace your true star heritage. Your courage inspires the entire collective awakening. You are remembering because it is time. Most people believe that emotional pain is something simply to be endured or healed, and that discomfort signals something is broken, something unworthy of deeper attention. In so many Earth teachings, pain is treated like a malfunction, like a red light on a dashboard that must be shut off as quickly as possible. But for you, Starseed, the ache you feel in your heart is not a flaw, nor evidence that you are lost. It is the most faithful messenger of your soul's readiness for cosmic transformation. It is the tremor in the ground before a sacred temple rises. It is the tide pulling back before the ocean reveals its hidden wonders. That ache is not here to punish you, it is here to prepare you. And if you listen closely, you'll notice it has a very particular intelligence, an order, a rhythm, a timing that goes beyond your logical mind. You see, Pleiadian starseeds have woven into their crystalline DNA a unique sensitivity, a sacred longing, to catalyze your remembrance, to bring you home not just to a place, but to a frequency of pure love. This longing is not mere nostalgia. It is not sentimentality. It is a compass made of light, pointing steadily toward the truth of who you were before you learned to shrink yourself to fit the density of this world. It is the heart's way of saying, there is more. There has always been more. And the more you try to silence it, the louder it becomes, not to torment you, but to rescue you from forgetting. Because the Pleiadian path is not a path of numbing. It is a path of awakening, and awakening rarely arrives as comfort first. It often arrives as a holy discomfort that refuses to let you settle for a half-lived life. When you feel that ache, imagine it as a crystalline bell inside your chest, ringing softly at first, then with greater insistence as your soul approaches a threshold it has been waiting lifetimes to cross. In the language of spirit, the heart does not ache because it is broken. The heart aches because it is opening. The heart aches because it is stretching beyond the old boundaries of survival into the vastness of remembrance. And if you have ever wondered why you feel things so deeply, why certain words cut, why certain energies exhaust you, why certain places feel unbearable, understand this. Your sensitivity is not an error. It is a sacred instrument. It is a finely tuned receiver designed to pick up frequencies most have forgotten how to sense. It is the way your star lineage speaks through your body, using emotion as a bridge between worlds. Even scripture echoes this sacred reversal of how humans see pain. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. What if the very sensation you've rejected, your tenderness, your ache, your longing, was never meant to be thrown away, but meant to become the cornerstone of your awakening? When you feel misunderstood, isolated, or adrift in this earth reality, it isn't weakness. It's your multidimensional self, the eternal facet of you that remembers the unity of the seven sisters, tapping on your awareness, urging you to awaken. There is a part of you that still remembers what it feels like to be met without explanation, to be known without performance, to be loved without conditions. There is a part of you that remembers communication that travels through light, through tone, through direct knowing, where nothing has to be proven because everything is already recognized. And so, when you step into Earth's slower, denser realm, where people hide their feelings, where truth is filtered through fear, where love is often negotiated, you can feel like a bird trying to fly underwater. You can feel like a songbird placed inside a room with no windows, still singing because singing is what you are, even when no one seems to understand the music. Many on this journey mistake their pain for separation. But your pain is a portal, a sacred signal that you are approaching a threshold of profound activation. It is the thin place between worlds. It is the place where the veil becomes so translucent you can almost see through it. Your star family never left you. You simply agreed to forget for a time so that you could transform the density around you into crystalline light. This Earth mission was never about escaping humanity. It was about infusing humanity. It was about taking what is heavy and reminding it of its own hidden radiance. And yes, forgetting was part of the contract, not because you were abandoned, but because the potency of remembrance grows stronger when it is chosen from within. Like a seed buried in dark soil, you were not thrown away, you were planted. And the pressure of the soil, the weight of the dark, is precisely what forces the seed to crack open and reach toward the sun. Every pang in your chest, every tear of longing, is actually a light code transmitting from Alcyone, recalibrating your heart for the next ascension wave. Imagine those pangs as luminous pulses, like a distant star sending a signal that arrives not as words, but as feelings, synchronicities, sudden waves of emotion that make no sense to the mind yet feel undeniable to the soul. The mind wants a reason, the soul wants resonance, and your resonance is shifting. Your heart is becoming a tuning fork, vibrating with frequencies that can no longer be suppressed. Even the ancient wisdom of Earth points to this truth. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Not because pain was meaningless, but because pain was a passage. Night as the womb, morning as the revelation. The illusion that you are unsupported, that your higher purpose is out of reach, arises from an ancient distortion, a veil cast over your memory to allow you to fully experience Earth's lessons, yet never severing your true connection to the Pleiadian realm. This veil is not a punishment. It is a training ground. It creates contrast so you can recognize truth by how it feels in your body. It allows you to learn discernment, not by theory, but by vibration. The energy of resistance, shame, and fear are not who you are. They're borrowed garments, worn only until you remember the iridescent brilliance beneath. And borrowed garments can be returned. Shame is not your native skin. Fear is not your original language. Resistance is not your natural posture. They are costumes of density that helped you navigate a world built on forgetting. But you were never meant to mistake the costume for the self. Benevolent hands from beyond this world have encircled you since the first breath of this life, gently nudging, encoding, and enveloping your journey with frequencies of unconditional love. Sometimes those hands feel like a sudden intuition that keeps you from danger. Sometimes they feel like an inexplicable comfort when you should have collapsed. Sometimes they feel like a door closing that later reveals itself as protection. Sometimes they feel like a person arriving at the exact moment you were ready to give up. Sometimes they feel like the strange insistence that you keep going, even when you cannot explain why. The very guides you've yearned for have been quietly singing in your auric field, harmonizing your ascension, preparing you for the moment you would recognize your pain not as proof of exile, but as evidence. You are being readied for soul-level transformation. And understand, their guidance does not always appear as dramatic visions or booming messages. Often it is subtle, like the hum beneath all things. It is the way your body relaxes around truth. It is the way your tears come when you hear words that remind you. It is the way your spine tingles when you step near a frequency aligned with your origin. It is the way certain music opens a doorway in your chest. It is the way you cannot unknow what you have felt. The kingdom of God is within you, one ancient teaching says, and in your language this becomes, the cosmos is within you, and the Pleiadian realm is not a distant location so much as a living harmonic that can be activated from the inside out. There will be days when remnants of earthly amnesia still cast doubts across your consciousness. Days when you wake up heavy for no reason. Days when the world feels harsh and you wonder if you imagined the calling. Days when you look at your life and think, how could something so vast be true when my reality looks so ordinary? But beloved one, these shadows were always temporary. They are like clouds passing over a sun that never stopped shining. The clouds may be thick, but they do not cancel the sky. You are not being punished for feeling deeply. Your ache is evidence that you are precisely on track for Pleiadian awakening. Because numbness is not awakening. Disconnection is not awakening. True awakening is the return of your sensitivity with wisdom, the return of your heart with strength, the return of your knowing with humility. It is becoming so honest with yourself that you cannot pretend anymore. It is the holy courage to feel what you feel without letting it define you. It is learning to sit beside your pain the way you would sit beside a child, present, gentle, unafraid, until the pain reveals its message and dissolves into light. Your depth is not a liability. It is a sacred capacity. And yes, on Earth, the deep feelers are often the ones who think something is wrong with them. But in the higher realms, the deep feelers are the ones entrusted with transmutation. You feel deeply because you are here to alchemize deeply. You are not here to skim the surface of life. You are here to bring the hidden currents back into harmony. Beloved, if your heart just whispered yes to something deeper, listen closely. Your star family has prepared the sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, the Pleiadian Healing Guide, and the special Pleiadian Healing Tracks, not as information, but as keys to unlock what your soul already knows. These carry the love frequency of Alcyone and the healing wisdom of the Seven Sisters. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video, open now, but not indefinitely. The journey home to yourself moves through luminous phases, coated with the wisdom of your Pleiadian lineage and timed with the intelligence of your soul. This is not a straight line. It is more like a spiral staircase, where you return to similar themes, but each time from a higher vantage point. Each phase is a step of cosmic reclamation, a movement from pain to light, and from longing to full-hearted multidimensional presence. And as you move through these phases, remember, you do not have to force them. You do not have to wrestle yourself into awakening. A flower does not strain to bloom. It simply receives the sun and follows its nature. Your nature is remembrance. Your nature is love. Your nature is light embodied in form. Let these phases wash through you like waves, each one polishing the crystalline temple of your heart. Phase 1, receiving the signal, emotional pain as the Pleiadian. Call your heartache is not random. It's been precisely timed with Gaia's evolution. You are not too much by accident. You are not out of place by mistake. As Earth's frequency rises, what was buried must rise to the surface. Unprocessed grief, ancestral patterns, past life echoes, collective sorrow that has lingered in the human field for generations. As dense patterns and memories surface, recognize them as the first whispers from your Pleiadian star family. This is often where people panic, because it feels like things are getting worse. But spiritually, surfacing is not failing. Surfacing is healing. When the mud rises in the water, it is because the water is being stirred toward clarity. Every pang, every longing, is the frequency of the seven sisters breaking through your temporary forgetting. Invite these sensations in, naming them the messengers they truly are. Not enemies, not proof that you are weak. Messengers. You might place a hand on your chest and simply ask, "What are you trying to show me?" You might notice that your ache intensifies around certain people or environments and softens around others. That is your sensitivity recalibrating, your inner compass becoming trustworthy again. You might begin to realize that certain cravings, like the desire to disappear, to run away, to numb out, are not your truth, but a sign your nervous system is overwhelmed by density it was never meant to carry alone. In this phase, gentleness is power. Hydrate, rest, spend time with trees, with water, with the night sky. Let nature mirror your original home, vast, quiet, luminous. And when the ache comes, breathe as if you are breathing starlight into the center of it. Because you are. The signal is arriving, and your heart is learning how to receive. Phase 2, shedding the veil, from earth amnesia to heart remembrance. For so long, you learned to filter your experience through the lens of separation. Separation from others, separation from source, separation from your own body, separation from your own knowing. You learned to mistrust yourself because the world taught you that logic is safer than intuition, that fitting in is safer than authenticity, that hiding is safer than shining. But as the Pleiadian light codes activate within you, these veils begin dissolving. And when veils dissolve, the eyes may water, the heart may tremble, the mind may resist. This is normal. Old stories of unworthiness or exile are surfacing, not to harm you, but to be released in the crystalline heart fire of your unconditional love. Notice what rises. The memory of being mocked for your sensitivity, the fear of being too different, the ache of not belonging, the guilt of wanting more from life than mere survival. These stories rise like smoke so they can finally be cleared. Allow yourself to let go. This letting go is not dramatic. It is often quiet. Choosing not to speak to yourself with cruelty anymore. Choosing not to abandon your inner child for approval. Choosing to stop apologizing for your depth. Feel how loved you are, even as the old falls away. Because love is not only present when you feel good. Love is present when you are unraveling. Love is present when you are uncertain. Love is present when you are shedding identities you thought you needed. There is a tenderness in this phase that is holy. It is like taking off armor that has been fused to your skin. At first, the air feels too sharp. You feel exposed. But over time, you realize the armor was heavy, and you were never meant to carry it forever. As you shed the veil, your perception changes. You begin to notice synchronicities, repeating numbers, unexpected kindness, dreams that feel like meetings, moments where you suddenly know something without being told. These are not random. They are signs that your remembrance is returning, not as fantasy, but as lived frequency. Phase 3. Opening the heart portal, healing through the Pleiadian frequency. The true healing you seek does not come from fixing, but from remembering. Because you are not a problem to solve. You are a truth to inhabit. Fixing implies you are broken. Remembering reveals you are whole. As you allow Pleiadian frequencies, encoded through breath, sound, and intention, to infuse your field, your crystalline DNA awakens dormant memories of unity consciousness. And this can be felt. Sometimes it comes as warmth in the chest, like a small sun igniting behind your ribs. Sometimes it comes as sudden emotion with no story attached. Tears that are not sadness, but release. Sometimes it comes as the urge to sing, to hum, to tone, to speak words of kindness you didn't plan. Sound is a bridge for Pleiadian energy because vibration is the language of creation. When you breathe consciously, you are not merely inhaling oxygen, you are inviting light into form. When you set an intention, you are shaping reality with the same creative principle that births stars. Your heart becomes the bridge between worlds, transmitting light both to your human self and through the collective grid of Gaia. Imagine your heart as a portal. One side faces your earthly life, your relationships, your responsibilities, your healing. The other side faces the star realms, your lineage, your mission, your soul's ancient agreements. When the portal opens, you do not leave Earth. You bring heaven into Earth. You begin to love in ways that transform rooms without effort. You begin to calm others by your presence. You begin to sense what is unspoken, not as burden, but as compassion. In this phase, forgiveness may arrive, not as a forced act, but as a natural consequence of seeing through the veil. You realize how many people acted from their own forgetting. You realize how much you too have been learning. And you start to treat yourself like someone worthy of gentleness. This is healing, not the erasure of your past, but the integration of it into wisdom. Like a stained glass window, your experiences, even the painful ones, become the very colors through which your light shines. Phase 4. Anchoring your cosmic identity. The embodiment of soul essence. Now that pain has transformed into remembrance, you begin embodying more of your true star lineage. Embodiment is the crucial step many skip. It is easy to have spiritual experiences. It is sacred to live them. You sense yourself as both human and cosmic, walking as a love-anchored emissary in a world that quietly aches to remember its own divine connection. And you begin to see this ache everywhere, not as a reason to despair, but as a reason to serve with tenderness. You notice the cashier who looks exhausted, the stranger whose eyes reveal loneliness, the friend who jokes to hide grief. You recognize the universal hunger for love beneath the world's noise. Here, service is natural. Radiance becomes effortless, not because life becomes perfect, but because you stop outsourcing your worth to outcomes. You stop measuring your value by productivity, by approval, by external success. You begin to move through life with the calm dignity of someone who knows they are guided. You begin to choose what nourishes you, because you finally believe you deserve nourishment. This clarity is the energetic homecoming you have sought. And homecoming does not necessarily mean everything changes on the outside immediately. It means you change on the inside so profoundly that your outer life must eventually rearrange to match you. In this phase, boundaries become holy. You say no without guilt. You choose rest without apology. You stop forcing connections that drain you. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You become simpler, truer, more aligned. Like a lighthouse, you do not chase ships. You stand rooted, and your light does the work. Phase 5. Trusting the guidance. Synchronizing with the benevolence of the higher realms. What once felt random or fated now reveals itself as part of an orchestrated, loving plan. You look back and see patterns. How heartbreak redirected you, how delays protected you, how endings made space for new beginnings you couldn't have imagined. You begin to sense that your life has been a conversation between your soul and the universe all along. Your intuition sharpens, your presence magnetizes synchronicities, and you understand that you are being actively and lovingly steered by your Pleiadian family and the High Council. This doesn't mean you surrender your agency. It means you stop fighting the current of your own becoming. You learn the difference between fear-based resistance and soul-based discernment. You learn to pause before saying yes, to feel the energy of a decision in your body. You learn that guidance often arrives as simplicity, a quiet go, a quiet wait, a quiet not this. You are not alone, not for one heartbeat. There is a perfect choreography to your unfolding. And sometimes the choreography involves stillness. Sometimes the guidance is to rest, to incubate, to allow things to ripen. On Earth, stillness is often judged as laziness. In the higher realms, stillness is recognized as gestation. Stars are not born in a hurry. They are formed through sacred timing, pressure, and patience. So if you are in a waiting season, do not call it failure. Call it formation. Trust that what is aligning behind the scenes is more precise than what your mind can predict. Phase 6. Reuniting with Star Family. The awakening of the unity field. Old loneliness dissolves as you experience the tangible presence of your Pleiadian guides, both in meditation and in subtle signs throughout daily life. This is not always cinematic. Often it is intimate. You may feel a sudden warmth around your shoulders when you are about to cry. You may sense a gentle pressure at your crown, as if light is being poured in. You may have dreams where you are in places that feel more real than waking life. Crystalline halls, luminous oceans, starlit chambers where you communicate without words. You may notice feathers, specific birds, specific stars calling your gaze at exact moments. You may hear the same message repeated through different people who have no connection to one another. You remember. Souls from your cosmic home walk with you, encoded in every loving mirror, every synchronistic encounter, every burst of inner knowing. And as you remember them, you also begin to recognize one another on Earth. You find yourself drawn to certain eyes, certain voices, certain hearts. You meet people and feel like you have known them forever, not because you share history, but because you share frequency. Your circle expands to include the visible and the unseen, united in purpose and love. And with this expansion comes a new kind of responsibility, not heavy, but sacred. To be a safe space for others' awakening, to listen without judgment, to speak truth without forcing, to love without needing to control. Unity field does not mean sameness, it means harmony. It means remembering that beneath every personality is a soul longing to return to love. And as you anchor this unity within yourself, you become a living sanctuary. Others may not know why they feel calm around you, but they will feel it. That is the field. That is reunion. Phase 7. Becoming the transmission. Anchoring Pleiadian light as your mission. You recognize finally that your journey was never just about healing yourself. Healing was the doorway. Mission is the room beyond it. You are a living frequency. Each interaction, each intention, each word, a crystalline pulse tuning the field of the collective. Your life becomes less about proving and more about transmitting. You become mindful of what you emit, because you realize your energy speaks before your mouth does. You become aware that your presence can soothe, inspire, awaken, simply by being anchored in love. You become a living bridge between Gaia and the stars, pollinating humanity with unity and unconditional love. And this mission does not always look like grand gestures. Sometimes it looks like choosing compassion in a tense moment. Sometimes it looks like refusing to participate in cruelty. Sometimes it looks like creating art that carries healing. Sometimes it looks like raising children with emotional safety. Sometimes it looks like being the one person who sees someone when they feel invisible. These are transmissions. These are light codes in human form. This is your cosmic inheritance, and it is time to claim it fully. To claim it means you stop treating your gifts as accidents. You stop downplaying your knowing. You stop hiding your tenderness. You stop waiting for permission to be who you are. You do not have to convince the world. You have to embody your frequency so clearly that those who are ready will recognize it. You are the light of the world, an ancient line says. And in your path, that light is not metaphor only. It is literal energy, literal coherence, literal love made visible through your choices. Here's the truth your soul has been waiting to remember. Every ache, every tear, every instance of wondering, why am I here, was never abandonment. It was initiation, It was the sacred rite of passage that separates those who merely exist from those who awaken. Your star family did not send you to Earth to be alone. They sent you as a living fractal of their love, encoded with the precise experiences needed to trigger your grandest transformation. Not because suffering is holy, but because alchemy is. And alchemy requires contrast, the lead of density meeting the gold of spirit. There was never a moment you walked this world unsupported. Their guidance has moved as intuition, as resonance, as the gentle wind behind every breakthrough. Even when you made choices you regret, even when you felt like you fell off your path, even when you thought you ruined everything, the higher realms do not speak in condemnation. They speak in course correction, in compassion, in patient redirection. And your soul, being ancient and wise, has been working with every moment, yes, even the painful ones, turning them into sacred fuel. That is what initiations do. They reveal what is real. They burn away what is false. They strip you down until only truth remains. And the truth is this: you are loved beyond measure, and you are here on purpose. You did not come here to fix your human nature, but to marry it with your divine origin. This is one of the most misunderstood pieces of the journey. Many try to transcend the human, to escape emotion, to bypass grief, to float above life. But the Pleiadian path is not escape, it is integration. It is bringing the cosmos into the body, bringing heaven into the nervous system, bringing love into the places you were taught to abandon. The ache in your chest. It's your star family's embrace, disguised as longing but carrying the signature of cosmic home. Like a mother calling her child in from the cold, that longing is not meant to shame you. It is meant to gather you. In every moment of pain, you are being guided back to the heart of the Pleiades, bridging the realms through the frequency of love. And love, true love, is not fragile. Love is not naive. Love is the most powerful organizing force in existence. Love is what holds galaxies in their dance. Love is what transforms trauma into wisdom. Love is what makes your sensitivity a strength. So when your heart aches, do not rush to medicate it away spiritually or emotionally. Sit with it. Ask it what it knows. Let it soften you without breaking you. Let it open you without drowning you. Your heart is not your enemy. Your heart is your star map. You are not broken. You are being reshaped into your highest crystalline self. Think of the way pressure turns carbon into diamond. Think of the way fire purifies gold. Think of the way a caterpillar dissolves inside the cocoon before it emerges with wings. The in-between is messy. The in-between can feel like loss. But the in-between is where the miracle forms. This is your mission. Your metamorphosis from sorrow to unity, from exile to reunion, from seeking to simply being the light your star family knew you would become. And as you become it, you will notice something profound. You stop chasing signs because you become the sign. You stop searching for purpose because your presence becomes purposeful. You stop asking if you are guided because you begin to live as if guidance is the air you breathe. You begin to trust yourself again. And when you trust yourself, you naturally align with your star family, because that trust is the bridge they have been waiting for you to cross. Tonight, before you rest, place your hand over your heart and let this truth ripple through your being. Feel the warmth of your palm, the steady rhythm beneath it, the living drum of your incarnation. Let your breath slow, as if you are listening to the universe through your own body. And then let these words land not just in your mind, but in your cells, in your bones, in your field. I recognize my pain as a sign of my cosmic transformation. I remember my origins in the Pleiadian light. I step forward, guided and supported, into the next, most beautiful phase of my soul's journey. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content, it's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we're just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.